Love and hair grease. Extra, read all about it. The news is losing, as my brother Diezel Washington would say. And guess what? We ain't snoozing at all. It's time to Netflix and chill. And if you're a WWE fan, that just might be a good thing coming in 2025. Speaking of flicks, the Academy Award nominations is out, and so is the NAACP are out, and they are looking heavily melanated. But we're going to talk about the Royal Rumble later on, talking about heavily melanated. The Rock is sitting at the head of the table while Vince is walking out of the office with his separation box in tow. Oh, you better believe when there's smoke, there is fire. It's time for the Three Amigos Podcast Show.
Woo! Podcast.
Three Amigos, babies.
We all here, all four of us, the Three Amigos. So getting on that good foot and staying there, without any further ado, let's introduce you to the esteemed host of the Three Amigos Podcast Show. First and foremost, it is I, the Oracle, turned conversationalist. Always, there's no shook hands in Brooklyn. You know, I'm the hardest working man in showbiz. I'm brilliant, bright, and always willing to fight. I am Brandon.
That's you.
Never waste your mind. You know, the mind's a terrible thing to waste. That's what they say, right? So, hailing from the livest borough, Brooklyn, repping Flatbush to the fullest. He's the voice of our turnbuckle talk and the realest on the turntables. He's the grand opening, grand closing, Mr. High Profile. He is the Panamanian God. He is the Michelle King.
Yes. I'm excited. I am excited tonight, ladies and gentlemen. You know, a lot to talk about and so much to get to, but in a very short period of time.
Yeah, as always. Second, well, that's third. Sorry, get my numbers all messed up. Still counting down from the Rumble. Third, he is billed standing at this week at 6'12". Wow, amazing. He, as always, is lyrical. He is miracle. He is spiritual. He is criminal. He is bare minimum aluminum bars. He's the 10-time NPWA, that is the National Park Wrestling Alliance champion. Not to mention, he has all of the smoke. He is Big Daddy Cool, Sour Diezel, a.k.a.
Whoa!
Washington.
Now, whoa!
Whoa! That's your theme music today?
Whoa!
You need to fight or flight. And last but not least, you might dispute his countdown, but you are going to learn to love it. And he's our very own disputed storytime ninja. I want y'all to holla because he is unapologetically the Grenadian scholar. He's the whole
That's the face for me.
package, and you got to take it.
Take it, baby. Take it.
Masquerade Cam. Oh wow, they was mute for you. Look around in the crowd, everybody. Oh wow, you got the Dominic pop.
You know what I mean? Somebody got to sell it. You know what I mean? It's fine.
The hill of the show. Boo.
Okay. It's all right. It's all right.
That's according to our guest, Janelle from HR. Shouts out to her, the job and all of them.
Jealousy comes up in different ways and stuff. It's all right. It's cool.
Oh wow! Look at that. Masquerade Cam, removing the masquerade. For some of you who are new here, and for those of you that are returning, we like you to know that you are part of the show. We want to hear what you think. We want you to be the actual third amigo amongst us amigos. We want you to like. We want you to subscribe. We want you to share. We want you to comment. We want you to be in on the conversation. All right? So that's what's going to happen. Right now, I want to take us real quick into the gorilla position. But before we do that, I did want to do a big shout out and a rest in peace to Mr. Harold Hogue. You know, he was known as one half of Fire and Ice. He was a tag team with Scott Norton. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that?
Yes.
I think like one wore blue and the other one wore red. But he passed away this past weekend, so I do want to give a big shout out to Mr. Harold Hogue. You know, our condolences with his family. Rest well, King. But speaking of passing away and dying, I wanted to ask in the gorilla position, which death made you shed a thug tear or made you a little bit emotional? And this is a multiple choice question, fellas. So we're going to go with A, Ricky from Boys in the Hood. B, G-Baby from Hardball. C, Kane from Minister Society. And D, Cleo from Set It Off. I'm going to send it, since you said, I'm sending it right to the thespian, to the actor.
You know,
Masquerade Cam. Which one of those? Have you seen any of those movies?
I've seen all of those. You know, I've seen all of those, and especially those scenes are very powerful. But I'm gonna have to give it to the lady in the bunch, Cleo. I think Cleo's death was the hardest on my heartstrings, man. She had me just ready to tear up. You know what I mean? Everybody else was really sad too. I ain't gonna lie. That Hardball one caught me off guard. I'm not gonna lie. But
it was the kids. It was the kids.
Yeah, man. You can't shoot the babies, bruh.
But that was happening. It was real.
It was. But that Thug Thizzle, that going out hard body, that Cleo scene, that's the one that got me.
Okay, wow, and a great explanation. So, or Diezel Washington. Let me know which one of these made you shed a thug tear.
Man, listen, all those are hard choices to make, all right? And I have an explanation for some. But the one that made me shed a thug tear for real is G-Baby. It's like, cause that shit is so relatable. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I ain't robbed no bank. So the Ricky one is relatable also, but in the Kane, but the G-Baby one, like y'all said, you can't be killing these kids, man. Like, he had so much life to keep living. And for that to happen to him, caught astray. Yeah. You know, his big brother was trying to hold him down. Like, can you just imagine being like, you thinking we good? Come on, G-Baby, we out. And then you turn around and you see it. He's gone. Nah,
the reveal, all of that was nasty to me. The reveal, how he was shot, the setup, fact that he was the baby. G-Baby grew up, though. I'm happy, you know, he's still alive. Have y'all seen G-Baby now, what he look like?
Yeah.
Go Google him. G-Baby grew up. Mash out King. Out of these movies.
G-Baby grew up.
Ricky, G-Baby, Kane, Cleo. Which one of these? I don't know. Do you cry?
You know, a lot of people ask that. And it's not often.
Okay, but which one of these made you shed a thug tear?
Unfortunately, I didn't cry at any of these scenes. But
what scene did you cry in? Mash Out King?
I can't remember a movie that actually, you know, that I actually cried. I cried for. I literally cannot remember a movie I cried for.
He cried when they killed Rambo.
Quite possibly. I can't remember.
Whatever his name was in that damn movie. Not Crush Groove. What was the other one?
Oh, he's talking about
Cornbread Earl and Me?
No. He's talking about not Beat Street.
Yeah, it is Beat Street.
It was Beat Street.
They killed Ramon.
What about when Jimmy died in the 5 Heartbeats?
That one was a tough one for me. Okay, that was a tough one.
Kill Jimmy. Well, I'm gonna have to go with my man Cam here and go with Cleo. I mean, that Up Against the Wind by Lori Perry was playing. The fact that all of them being like women in the struggle. And to me, out of all these categories besides the child, like really seeing the woman, like I'm from the hood and not for nothing. Niggas get shot every day, B. So kind of with Kane and Ricky, it was heartfelt, but I was living in the hood, so I was really relating to that. I had never really seen a woman shot. So to see that in the movie and her being such a strong character and her passing away, I definitely got to give it up.
And not even just shot. A woman gets shot up by the police.
Yes. It was almost like a Sandra Bland, like a foreshadow to that. Wow. Crazy. Not the same way, but almost similar.
We don't know.
So, I mean, I'm going to have to definitely go with that. But we're going to take it to a more lighter note, or maybe not. From Bell to Bell and from Pillar to Post, it's time for the Turnbuckle Talk. Match-Out King, what you got for us for the Turnbuckle Talk? What you going to talk about? What you chatting about?
We got a lot to cover. I mean,
yeah,
a whole lot to cover because, you know, this Turnbuckle Talk this evening, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be a twofold. So we're going to discuss the Royal Rumble, and we're going to discuss another piece of news that happened this week that's really huge, you know, that has been unfolding like a soap opera over the last few days and few weeks. So it's something that, you know, I want to get to, and I know I'm going to get to that. But nonetheless, we're here for the Royal Rumble first. Now, everybody that's in Streamland, right? Whether you're on YouTube, whether you're going to listen to us on the podcast, understand something. Saturday night, the Three Amigos spent Saturday evening together, and it wasn't a fight, ladies and gentlemen. We spent, you know, all four of us spent the evening together to watch
Royal Rumble.
The Royal Rumble, and I think it was an amazing time with these gentlemen right here. We had a great time. Everybody was on point. Everybody was firing all cylinders. It was exciting and what have you. But I don't think the show was exciting. But I think that together was exciting. Let's get right into the Royal Rumble. So, gentlemen, okay, it's time to start our races. All right, let's talk about the female Royal Rumble.
The women Royal Rumble.
It's the same fucking thing.
Thank you. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. Don't let women say that.
No. Explain the difference.
You gonna get put in your place. They're gonna read you.
Put me in my place. Explain the difference.
No, not me. No. The ladies will read you for. They don't like to be addressed as females. That's the first thing.
What?
All right? Women do not like to be addressed as female.
Why?
That's the first and foremost.
Why?
Oh man. All right. Well, from what I've learned, all right, a female is not necessarily addressed a woman or a lady, right? It is a gender, right? So it could be to anything, any animal, a female or male. So when you call a woman a female, you're not necessarily calling her a human being, basically, and that like they feel disrespected. So you got to respect people's boundaries. They don't like it. Most women don't like it. So I think that's where
you can't respect my boundaries because I'm staying with the word female. Now, ladies and gentlemen,
but it's literally called the Women's Royal Rumble.
I understand.
It's not called,
but guess what?
The females Royal Rumble. It's called the Women's Royal Rumble.
That is true.
What I'm saying. So,
like
Cam said, respect.
I don't care what they call them nowadays.
Well, fuck what they call them. You know what? At the end of the day, we understand it's women at the end of the day, but I'm going to go with the female Royal Rumble. But you understand what I meant, and and what have you.
Respect the Divas Championship.
Huh? Yeah, shout out to the female world champion Rhea Ripley.
Yes, shout out to her. Shout out to her, Diezel. Shout out to her. You said it's sarcastic, but I felt that every bit of it. So yes, shout out to the female world champion. Absolutely.
Let's see how much we'll be on air with this. All right, let's go.
We're gonna be canceled, but that's all right. Go ahead.
All right. So going back to the Royal Rumble, let's start off with your thoughts on it. I'm gonna throw it to my brother from another mother, Mr. Diezel Washington. What you got for us?
Oh, my thoughts on Royal Rumble overall.
No, I want to go with the women.
Oh yeah, we talking about the women's Royal Rumble match. The women's Royal Rumble match was a good one. I liked it. I was thoroughly pleased by it. Oh my gosh, so many face-offs in that match that somewhere in the future is going to make for great stories. Especially we seen the women's knockout champion from TNA, Jordan Grace. Now, oh my gosh, I'm all in for her, like, especially if WWE and TNA do a partnership, to see her and Ivy Nile mix it up. That was a good face-off. We seen Jade Cargill make her debut. She faced off with Nia Jax. She faced off with Bianca Belair. Out the women's Royal, and we seen the return. Listen, I know everybody else got their says and what they want to say, so I don't want to give it all up. But I was pleased by the women's Royal Rumble match. I liked it.
All right, Cam.
I'm gonna say this was the best match of the PLE. I love the women's Royal Rumble match at this one. It definitely had like all the hot spots. Jordan Grace, like Diezel said, was an amazing surprise, and her face off with Bianca was pretty epic. Bianca showed that she is indeed the strongest. Let me show that one right there. She threw her out the ring. I love Jade's like presence in the match. When she came out, she was like, "I have arrived. I am here." And then she chose the biggest bully on the block and duffed her right in the mouth and threw her over the top. So I really love that whole spot. Becky came out. She told a good story as well. Even the NXT appearances that came in, Tiffany Stratton and Roxanne Perez. Those were some good spots as well. I think the whole women's Royal Rumble carried itself from the beginning to the end, and of course, the winner of the match, Miss Bayley herself, who I think is definitely relevant.
All right, random thoughts. What's up?
Well, this was the 5th year for the women's Royal Rumble match, and I think by far, besides the one that was in the Thunderdome when it was in the same place, this was one of the best ones. Like my brothers has previously stated, the stories that were told, what we will see unfold. Ladies and gentlemen, the future is not tomorrow. The future is now. And what we saw in that Royal Rumble with my girl Tiffany Stratton, Jordan Grace, Jade Cargill. I have never seen, I think that almost was like an edge pop for somebody that people have been anticipating and waiting for. People were arguing, why they taking so long with Jade? What's going on with Jade? And I think that she debuted with a perfect number, I guess they're right, at a perfect time and at a perfect event where we got to see enough of her for us to want a look a bit more. That stare off, I literally felt that in my soul with Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Whether it's this WrestleMania, the next WrestleMania, the next 4 WrestleManias, just like we saw with Cena's and Orton's and Brock's and Roman's, I can see these two go at it. So I was definitely impressed with this match. I wish this match was a little bit later on the card. My issue with the whole PLE was the arrangement of the matches. But shouts out to my girl, the 2024 Women Royal Rumble winner, Bayley, who will be going to WrestleMania and becoming the new women's champion. So that's what I'm going to say about that. Matchup.
Okay, so, here's the thing. The ladies' Royal Rumble was amazing once again. And, from the start, coming out the gate, they came out the gate swinging. Just from seeing Naomi come back, I mean, we all spoke about it and said it in terms of the week before on the show. We made sure that that we took our surprises. Nobody saw the TNA knockout champion coming. Nobody saw that. Like that was amazing in the whole thing. I'll also say in regards to that, it wasn't also a mixture of old school people coming back, right? We didn't see, Trish Stratus. We didn't see,
Michelle
McCool and whatever. It was strictly about the current talent. Shout out to Brandon Thought for saying that before. It was strictly about the current talent that was there. And it was a lot of great surprises. And once again, congratulations to Bayley on the win with that, because she well deserved that win. All right, next is United. I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead. Got a little too excited. Next on the card is technically, in some cases, it could have been the main event, but nonetheless, it was the undisputed WWE Universal Championship match between Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, LA Knight, and AJ Styles. Fellas, you know what? Hell of a match, I guess, in certain aspects. But Masquerade Cam, what you got for us?
I would say it was the second best match of the night, to be honest. I liked it overall. I think, again, Roman told another good story. He took a lot of bumps. He took all the finishes from his opponents. He kind of helped it, made it really think that, like, if I was just like a kid watching, I'm like, oh, this might be the time he's gonna lose. You know what I mean? He's someone who's not been watching and keeping up. Like, oh, Roman might not win this. So I think it was really good storytelling. I do think it should have probably closed the show, just based on how they played everything out within the whole PLE. The spot it was at, like Brandon was saying, is like it was a little confusing as to why they put this as a second match of the night. But I think overall the spots was great. Even the outside interference told a really good story. So I liked it overall, and I think it was really good. It wasn't the best match that he's had, or that they put on for the Undisputed Championship, but it was a pretty good match.
Random thoughts.
I almost thought, and everyone knows I'm the biggest Roman Reigns fan there is, and I'm not just talking about the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. I'm talking Big Dog. I'm talking Shield. I almost felt like this match was the filler, to be honest. Between this and Kevin Owens and but we didn't get there yet. This match was a filler. I feel like with these incredible talents, even if we just look at the three, if we look at AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, like them putting on a match alone, LA Knight, yeah, he's there too. Yeah, he's there. Adding him into the fold, I just felt like there could have been more. The finish seemed like it was rushed. Like maybe they was pressed for time. They spent too much time on the pre-show with Peter Rosenberg. I don't know. But this match, it was a weird finish to it. I do see this story brewing between AJ Styles and LA Knight. And I guess we'll come to see what that will become WrestleMania season.
I feel like this match was like kind of lackluster. I don't really I don't feel like it's memorable. Right? I don't really take anything from it. It was decent, I guess. They did a good thing by not I guess they saved LA Knight by not not taking the pin. So to keep him hot, I guess that was interesting, and also to see. I want to see what's next for AJ Styles. Out of everybody, I mean, we already knew Roman was going to win. Yay! Congratulations to him. I want to see what's next for AJ Styles and this character that he has going on. I want to see how far he's going to take it and what's next and what he's going to do with it.
Okay.
You know what I thought about? You know what I thought about with this? I think they did the sequences of the match like that so it could throw us off on who was going to win the Royal Rumble. They wanted all the anticipation. They wanted everything to lead up to the Royal Rumble just so that we could get that spot, with Seth being in the building up there and Roman being up there. So they wanted to, get to that. If Roman was, winning like he did at the end of the Royal Rumble, and then you have the Royal Rumble winner come out and like be at the aisle, then they stare at each other. Like I don't think it would have translated that well. So maybe that's why they did this. I don't know.
Well, you know what? I mean, the story that was being told, was a filler, right? Like you just said, it was a filler. But I do believe at the same token, it still got everything in terms of the match. I think also to, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but to piggyback off of Cam, it'll put the naysayers to bed in terms of Roman taking bumps, right? That was a thing that, a lot of critiques that was being said about Roman Reigns, that he never took bumps. So the fact that, there was one or two times where there were near falls that you actually believe for a second he might have lost the belt, was an amazing feat. And one of them was from LA Knight. So that was an amazing thing during the match.
He
right?
he might as well be taking fucking bumps. He don't wrestle as much, so he better be doing something.
You're right. You're absolutely right, bro. Like, Roman Reigns, I think when they put the number of matches he did for 2023, it was incredible. Cause you're like, damn, God, it's like the man took the whole year off. Like he had a Brock Lesnar schedule.
Yeah, but he did more in the match than Brock Lesnar does. He didn't get beat up on the table, and the stretcher had to come out to take him out half of the match, and then Roman came back and won. No, Roman for a valiant effort in the match, and they did what they did, and they had to finish it. Well, I think we're talking more about the match than how actually impactful the match actually was on the PLE, but that's what's up.
True indeed. Next on the card, we're going to go to the United States Championship. This is the last singles match before the Men's Royal Rumble. So this was Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens. All right. The last time I started with Cam, this time I'm going to start with my brother. Random thoughts.
Good, because I only have like 3 things to say. One is shouts out to Kevin Owens for always, no matter what type of the match, no matter who the opponent is, for always showing up and showing out and being Kevin Owens. Definitely a first ballot future Hall of Famer. This was my smoke break. Unfortunately, I was watching it on Mash Out's phone in the backyard. So I saw what the match did. It did what it did. The finish to me was terrible. If we're going to be making this United States champion legitimate and making it something like the Intercontinental title, even with someone like Logan Paul as champion, we're going to have to start doing some legitimate things and making it prestigious. And these little stunts and shows with the crew and all that shit, what, this nigga got a bloodline now? Like, it was a little bit too much, but we know it's to have some more story coming down the line, So shouts out, I guess, to who's becoming really fucking annoying, Grayson Waller. But go ahead, Cam.
So here's what I think is going on with the Logan Paul thing, right? He's very obnoxious, as obnoxious as MJF once was, right? And I think the WWE is they keep trying to like show off, right? And try to make it look like, oh, this is how you're supposed to do things, right? So with the whole brass knuckles thing, is like that damn dynamite diamond ring, right? Like they're trying to find new ways to kind of make that his finish and make that his thing, right? To be honest, he don't need it. Logan Paul don't need it, right? But I feel like just because he's a heel and he's hot, and they kind of found a way to make it work with the Rey Mysterio match, they're trying to make it work with this match and make it make the storyline a little bit different. I agree with you. The finish was horrible. The match itself was great. Kevin Owens puts on a great match. He sells great. He delivers great moves. Logan Paul is a hybrid. He's a super athlete. Like he shouldn't be this good this fast in professional wrestling, but he is. So, I liked it, but that finish definitely was.
Diezel, how you feeling?
I don't have anything to say about this match.
That's fine. Elmo, enough. Let's move on.
Okay. You know what? I can say honestly, this match is a one and done for me. I don't want to see it again. All right, So, nonetheless, it's time for the main event. All right, the men's Royal Rumble. I was supposed to say.
Why don't you say the male Royal Rumble?
Right?
You say right.
The boys Royal Rumble, man.
By the way, while watching this match, there was a lot of ignorant comments that was said by everyone in the room but me.
What? He said the most ignorant shit ever.
Wait, what was that? What was that?
I ain't
these
saying
things
nothing.
can't be repeated. These things cannot be repeated.
Listen, first of all,
so allegedly these things were said.
First of all, I was about 3 red cups in of the brown juice.
I'm trying to remember.
Of the brown juice.
So my comments might be perceived as asinine or maybe offensive, but it was just an observation. Now, speaking of this men's Royal Rumble, the injustice that I want to speak about right here on the Three Amigos podcast show was the fact that every man that ran out after Carmelo Hayes, that was a man that was not black, that was not Latino, came in that ring and attacked Carmelo Hayes. And that's the issue that I have. It was a racist Royal Rumble. Well, I'm the only one watching. Oh, they threw in L.E. below.
Whoa. Come on now.
And you saw what he did. He started.
We didn't get to those things,
like
Jack.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And then he proceeded to go into the ring and turn his back on a number one star like Santos Escobar. When he was trying to offer him the Shield Pal.
Come on.
Brandon Thoughts is giving his take on it. So go ahead, babe.
Yes, that was my take on it. It was very well seeing, as Mashout said about the Women's Royal Rumble, that WWE focused on the talent now. They begin telling the story. I think what we are going to see with the CM Punk Drew McIntyre interaction, right? The camera angle with CM Punk and the WrestleMania behind. Maybe the world title match at WrestleMania with Seth Rollins due to his injury will be a triple threat match with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. I'm looking forward to that ride. However, back to the Royal Rumble, it was a racist fucking Royal Rumble. Good seeing the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Shouts out my boy Carmelo. It's all right. Maybe next time. And I thought the Pat McAfee entry, but overall, the Royal Rumble told a good story. Fellas, take it away.
Diezel, why'd you hit us with it?
Well, first and foremost, I want to go back a little. Oh, shit, I can't skip back. All right, whatever. Our fucking truth. He is pure fucking. Oh my gosh, he's gold. He's a legend, and when his time is up, it's going to be a memorable one.
The first male to be in both Royal Rumbles, right?
Right. He
was
in both Royal Rumbles. He was in the Women's Royal Rumble, and he was in the Men's Royal Rumble. And for him to when him and Dominic got to that part when he's trying to go for the hot tag, and for Dominic to actually make the hot tag. Oh my!
You saw that pop? The place went.
Yeah,
yo, it went crazy.
It was the first ever tag team Royal Rumble match ever.
Right, like yo. I think they let R-Truth do what he wants, and whatever he do, he makes gold of it. Yo.
He does. He
does. Seeing Andrade come back to WWE and seeing him have that face off with Santos Escobar. That's another story within that. Bobby Lashley and Karrion Kross. That's another story. A story that's actually going on, and I want to see what it goes on further from that. CM Punk, he was looking good in the ring. He was looking a little tired. He was getting me tight with the little dry hair sticking up. I was like, boy, what are you doing? It's like you driving out the side out the car with your head out the window? Like the fuck?
The fuck is crazy. You can see him Punk here. The fuck is crazy.
Right. What else went down? I was a little disappointed and we didn't get the more surprises. But like how you said, WWE is focusing on the talent of now and the people who they got. They did just fine. So the Royal Rumble match, it was a good one. I think R-Truth made it all the better for me.
Go ahead, Kim.
I think overall the Royal Rumble was good. I give it a 3 out of 5 stars. I think really, the feeling in the room when we was all watching it together was like the ending just kind of let us down. It wasn't a pop ending. Like it wasn't a big thing. Like I guess we all didn't pick Cody Rhodes, and we kind of like are like a little deflated, dejected. they gotta sell us on Cody Rhodes being the number one contender again, and then challenging for the title. Like to me, or at least for me, in my opinion, I was just like, that was a down part of the match. But a lot of entertaining spots. The R-Truth spot, Diesel talked about, and a couple other spots as well. I thought the Sammy was a wasted number 30. Sammy was a wasted number 30.
So was Liv Morgan.
Right. Yep. We totally forgot about that. But yeah, she was a waste. Pat McAfee, I think, was probably just like an audible because, allegedly Brock Lesnar got pulled out the Rumble, so they didn't really have a plan for it. But I do think they could have better used that spot with either Trick Williams or Ilya Dragunov to help, boost them up in the Rumble and in the rankings.
Pete Dunne wasn't available.
Braun Breaker was actually the was Brock's replacement. Was Brock's replacement.
Oh, so they had always planned that Pat McAfee thing?
I think
almost every year a commentator or somebody like that. That's like the new thing. Instead of bringing back an old wrestler, because all the old wrestlers are either at AEW or dead, they're like focusing on the commentary team coming in.
Got you. Maybe what was it? Corey Graves is next year?
Maybe they did say he was cleared, right?
Does he even have entrance music that we even recognize?
His music, he comes out to the commentary table too. Same thing. You got graphics and all that. So it's all there for him.
Like some type of rock and roll type.
Yeah. Okay.
What was your thoughts, Mash? Mash potato.
Okay. A lot. I have a lot of thoughts. This was very lackluster in my opinion. Because Brandon said something very interesting to me earlier. And I don't want to take your shine. I'm just gonna
go ahead. Go ahead. As long as the people hear it, it's more important.
All right. So he said the internet world boosted up Royal Rumble to make it bigger than it was supposed to be. Right. So we had very high hopes. And I will agree with that. We had very high hopes, and unfortunately, it got deflated because my expectations of what the match would have been didn't happen. Now, was there great spots in there? Absolutely, right? I was very happy to see Carmelo in there, Braun Breaker in there. I was very happy to see, that CM Punk and Cody came to the end. I think at the end, we kind of knew it was going to be Cody, right? When CM Punk did the pedigree, it said, I'm not going to lose to Dusty's kid. That's when I was like, yeah, it's over. It's going to be Cody's going over. But I do understand, obviously, the pivot, and we got to make sure we finish the story to make it make sense. And I think that, believe it or not, I think this all ties in to the Netflix deal, to a certain aspect. But I'll get to that in a second. But I
was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, great minds think alike, my brother.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that it all tied into each other. However, I thought it was lackluster, and I thought that they could have had a better showing. I think that there could have been more. Certain spots could have been given to other people. I definitely wanted to see Trick Williams in the match. I was looking for that. But I'm happy that Andrade's back. And I think that one of the best showings in the match was Dominic Mysterio.
Yes,
all right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he was one of the best in the match, and I got to give him a big credit because the man he's got me hooked. You know what I mean? So I'm really happy about that. And that's everything for the 2024 Royal Rumble match. Okay, now, fellas.
That's the extra read all about it part, right?
Yes. We got to talk about Vinnie Mac. And I was trying my best to be very impartial when I read and talk about this because over the last few days, a lot of people that are not wrestling fans or have been wrestling fans have asked me to explain to them exactly what happened earlier this week.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we can't deny that obviously the WWE joining and teaming with Netflix is a huge deal. But after that, now, when we come to Tuesday, right, we got Vince McMahon accused of sex trafficking and, and the whole Janelle Grant story, right? So usually I would use the term allegedly in this moment, right? However, I have the text messages, so it's not alleged. Okay? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I came with receipts. Okay? So I have the text that I will be reading in a second that Vince McMahon sent to Janelle Grant. Okay? And I have the list of gifts that she received. So just to bring everybody up to speed for a second. This is not an exciting story to tell. I just, but as being a broadcast journalist, I have to tell what happened here. So Janelle Grant is a former WWE employee, just to let everybody understand. The relations between Janelle and Vince started in 2019, okay, prior to the pandemic. However, things did not start jumping off till the pandemic 2020. So when I start reading some of the messages that she received from Vince McMahon, it didn't happen until 2020. The reason why Vince McMahon is being accused of sex trafficking is because he had to sleep with the other WWE executive. Okay? So she was passed around. One of the main people who were having a sexual relationship with was John Laurinaitis, okay, who's also named in the lawsuit. Now, this all could have been avoided. I'm going to explain for two reasons. One, obviously, you don't do it, right? That's just what it is. You don't do it. The second one is Janelle Grant signed the NDA in 2021. And the NDA stated that she would not tell anything of what she went through and what her relations were with said Vince McMahon. She agreed for the sum of $3 million. When she agreed to the sum of $3 million, Vince wrote her a check for $1.5 million. However, Vince reneged, right, because he became a renegger and decided not to pay the balance of the money. So the whole time from 2021, this woman has been asking Vince to pay her the balance of the $3 million. She never received her funds, and he never received it. So because the money was never actually paid, she had the right now to expose her story because the NDA will be done null and void. Right? Now, for those of us that don't understand what an NDA is, it's a non-disclosure agreement, meaning that any conversations or actions between me and a person, if we sign this NDA, it should never ever come back up. But unfortunately, in this story that I'm about to tell, this is what happened. Okay, so having said that, I'm going to proceed to explain exactly what the relations were, things of that nature. Damn, I see you shaking your head. So. But I'm being very Brian Gumble-ish. I'm trying not to be partisan. I'm telling the story as it was told in the Daily News, and also in the Washington Post, and also in the New York Post. Okay, so I'm going to use the word alleged only because some of these things are okay. So Janelle alleges that the relations normally, right, between her and Vince. Like this was going to be like a woman that he's talking to. However, it went from a point now where it went from that now when she said no, that Vince said yes. Okay. So what happened is that he decided to take it further, right? So in the back of Vince McMahon's office, that the one that we've all seen, from childhood now, he has a whole lounge back, right? He has a lounge, and it has a gym, it has a kitchen, and everything back there. So, Janelle alleges that this is where she was sexually assaulted in the back. Okay, so she many of times was taken back there, and she was sexually assaulted. At this point now, I'm going to start reading some of the messages that was said and what have you. So just understand, Vince and her call each other baby. So when I'm reading stuff, baby, this is what it is. Okay, so this is Vince talking to Janelle. So he says, baby, he's not the only one. He's referring to John Laurinaitis. Called me this afternoon begging me to eat you and fuck you with his nice and hard dick. This is her responding to Vince. Give me another week, baby. I'll be ready. I'm feeling more like myself. It's not great, but it's getting better. Tell him soon. This is Vince. I already told him, baby. By the way, Johnny wants Tuesdays, but not this coming one, and the occasional Saturday. But I can shift it to Thursday nights. Johnny would like all of the above. Okay. This is Vince. Maybe he wants two other guys to join you with him. Holy shit. You've already told him you would do anything with him. So if he's surprised with two others, you would have no alternative than take them on. OMG. Stories you could tell me, then it makes me want to come right now. By the way, I just thought of what I think is an excellent idea. Maybe you can hint that he knows someone who could be discreet. It might be better if you and Johnny try him out first so he could be more comfortable before he's introduced to me. Actually, that makes total sense, doesn't it? So this is referring to a threesome.
With Vince, John Laryngitis, and the young lady?
Yes. Okay.
This one I don't eat bacon. I don't eat pork. Mm-mm.
Okay. So all right. So also, so she claims that Vince McMahon defecated on her in one of the sexual acts.
Wow, he's a scat player?
Yes. He also bought dildos, and this part's alleged. We don't have no. And she says that he also bought dildos and named them professional wrestlers.
Wow, so, like this one right here, the big black one is the Almighty Bobby Lashley.
Exactly. So he named them professional wrestlers, and he was forcing her to take it in her mouth and in her vagina as well at the same time.
You want bashing booger in your mouth, bitch? No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, so this is what was happening at that time. Okay, now, having said that, I was trying to keep my head straight. Having said that, so to make this interesting, the rumor is when this was all happening, right? This is why, one, Shane McMahon left the company, and two, why Stephanie McMahon left the company.
Mm-hmm.
All this was happening at that time. And if you go with the timeline of events, it would make sense about that time. Okay, I have another text to read. So it says, those compliments will keep him coming, baby. Just wait and see. I totally understand and agree of being scared of communication and photos. Johnny gets drunk and sloppy and could easily make a mistake that could cost him his job and yours too. Verbal communication is the way to go. That said, have you and Johnny talked about breakfast tomorrow? Now, what she's alleging. So.
Sorry, man.
God damn.
So
this is a lot
of like, yeah, how does it feel to have Lex Luger in your mouth, bitch? Now, do you want butter rum or do you want maple syrup?
You like waffles and French toast? How you want it?
You take me to the son of a bitch.
John Laryngitis is like, I don't know. Give me the Lex Luger.
So
I'm sorry, guys.
So what
Must be Omas.
so what is happening at this time is John Laurinaitis now full-time lives in Florida. But because of his job, he has to come to New York or travel to whatever city 3 to 4 times a week. So the deal is that Janelle would be sent to deal with him to ease the stress off for the day.
Okay.
Before he starts his day off.
Recreational activities.
Exactly. Okay. Now this text message is going to get really graphic. Okay, so I'm just letting I'm just giving fair warning. This text message is about to get very graphic. This is Vince McMahon, and this is just understand. Your last picture, you need your panties ripped off, and 3 big black dicks all in the holes at the
Told
same
you.
time. Way up your pussy, way up your ass as far as they will go, but even farther. And the thickest cock goes down your throat, so it makes you gag and convulse as those big black cocks pound away. It feels like the start, you being assaulted, but it's made you come nonstop. Just one continuous orgasm. And just before you pass out, those big black dicks squirt their load of cum inside of you. As you lay in your stomach, the cum is coming out all of your holes. I'll turn you over and jack off all over you. So that was from him.
And these are the same niggas that write the like Pornhub scripts. Like this.
Yeah, I was just about to say he was on page number 45.
What the flying
It sounds like some type of fantasy
erotica book.
Yeah.
Like to each your own, but how you doing this on a company dime and time, bruh? Like what the hell?
Well, that's what happens when you're the boss.
This is wild crazy. What they need to do is they need to open their own little company for sexual workers and just have that as the you know what I mean, but not somebody working under the WWE umbrella.
No, they shouldn't have their sexual workers. They shouldn't have things like that, Cam. Because this is.
No, I mean, that's legal. It's not illegal.
Well, and some of it is illegal, especially
under the company umbrella and on the company.
Well, some of it will be illegal, especially if he's called out for sex trafficking. Now, would that be a good thing to do? I mean, I watch SVU. Okay. I know.
Yeah, but it said like he reported, even though the sound was breaking up. I'm not sure if the listeners heard it.
Yeah, he's an expert. You say he's an expert because he watches SVU. So
yeah, I heard that part, but we all do, and that makes us good experts. We learn a lot of things here.
I'm not saying that makes me an expert, but you talking about he should go and open up a business of sex workers. No, he shouldn't, because this is why his ass is allegedly being called for sex trafficking.
The sex trafficking is because he shared her with the homies, John Laurinaitis, the other executives, to take the edge off, throughout the week. He shared her, so that makes it sex trafficking.
Oh, well, sex trafficking was like if you like send them around like.
Well, she has to fly to New York from wherever she's
that is sex trafficking.
Biloxi, Mississippi for a live show,
Is that sex trafficking, or is that being treated
that is sex trafficking, yes.
Is it sex trafficking, or is it being treated like one of the pass arounds for the homies, and you're getting treated and accommodated?
That's sex trafficking too, by the way, Mr. Lord.
That's sex trafficking.
Was it sex trafficking?
VIP treatment.
In Pretty Woman?
VIP treatment.
Well, before we good question, Diezel. But before we continue
that was prostitution. But go ahead.
Before we continue on, I just want to touch on something for a second. I think that unfortunately, when people reach a certain level of power, right, they tend to believe that they're abstain from certain situations, right? That they could get away with anything. And it's sad because when it's a poor person, it's called rape, and when it's someone with money, it's called sexual assault. Okay, and and what's sad about this situation is that when you have a billionaire status, you have access to things that regular people cannot ever get. Okay, and that means that you also can get pretty much any woman you want. So if you have a sexual fantasy in the way you wanted to have a sexual fantasy, I'm pretty sure you could have paid for that, and that would not, and that would have been the end of it, right? That would have been the end of it. I think what happened here is that, and I'm gonna say one last read on this, and then I'll move on. I think what happened here is the character of Vince McMahon,
Mr. McMahon,
Mr. McMahon character, and Vince McMahon finally met. Okay, I think that's what happened, because
you wouldn't be wrong about that.
Yeah, I think they finally met, and I think
In
that
real life.
they hit it off really well. Okay, and
Because he definitely was like he definitely had those kind of actions as Mr. McMahon, right? He
exactly.
had those despicable.
And Vince McMahon became a victim of his own persona, right?
As they all tend to do.
And that's where, unfortunately, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Macho Man Randy Savage, the people that can't remove the character from who they really are, and I think that's what happened here in the Vince McMahon story, but having said that, so one of the times where she was sexually assaulted, Vince told his assistant, you know what, just give her $15,000 worth of
gift cards,
the Bloomingdale's gift cards, yes.
She should share the coupon code with people so we could use it.
Oh my God, not a coupon code.
Because I definitely would shop at Bloomies and use a little coupon code.
Right.
Also, I want to tell you one thing interesting, which also is not going to play well in Vince McMahon's favor. This woman has had now physical damage done to her, where she's had to have surgery gotten done. Okay, and every year from 2020 to 2022, Vince McMahon has paid for her surgery.
What surgeries did she sustain?
Maybe he was sticking dildos in her rectum and in her private parts and stretching and things of that nature. She had the Coco Beware in her. She had to fix that. Wow, it's amazing.
And looking at her image online, she's not a big girl. She's a little girl. Well, I say small frame. Just small.
He shoved that Ahmed Johnson all up in her.
Yep, gave her the Faruqa side. Maybe we should have joked because it's sexual.
I'm sorry.
Moment, child.
Sorry.
I'm trying. It's not to make light of the situation.
It's not. And I'm like, it's shocking to hear these things. I can't believe that it's the Apollo Crews.
Wow.
I think that maybe that's
you were going so well. And
I just want to move back to this real quick, if I can.
I wonder what relation did she get?
I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go back to the story.
Remember the Nigerian drum bass match?
I'm going to go back to the story. So, look, she's had multiple surgeries that she's had to have over the last 3 to 4 years. You know what I mean? So, at the end of the day, I mean, it's very sad, this whole situation. It has caused Vince McMahon to have to officially resign from the WWE, right? And I'm from TKO and Endeavor. And, I believe that Ari Emanuel is going to clear house with all the WWE talent and executives. Not talent, excuse me, all the executives, because some may be involved. But if you don't say anything, you're as guilty as the people that are involved, right? That's Dr. Martin Luther
King. If you
King.
knew and don't say anything.
Right. So
if you didn't know nothing, then I think it's a little bit bad when individuals like the R. Kellys, now what they're doing with Diddy, not doing, but the situations in which they're in, and also Vince McMahon, unfortunately, no matter how much of a great songwriter you are, or how much of a great music producer and music mogul and businessman and, a creative entertainment we all love, as in wrestling, we wouldn't have this show, right? As we stated before, no matter what it is they accomplish, when something like this comes out, this is now what you're known as. You understand what I'm saying? When people make these allegations against Michael Jackson, he was forever known as like this sort of like pedophile, right? Same with R. Kelly. Same with what it'll probably be with Diddy. Same with Vince McMahon. So you're kind of labeled with this, with society, but we're not really looking at the inner layers. We're not going to break that down today. That's another show. But we're looking at the inner layers of why these people in power do these type of things, and why it is that it's something in their brain that that moral compass, and how it's off of its Richter scale. So it's kind of unfortunate about that. We were talking about Slim Jim, pulling out at first when they heard it, all pun intended, and then going back in, into the Royal Rumble as a sponsor. But I think that this is what Vince McMahon gets for trying to get his beef jerky. And that's it. That's my comment.
Cam?
Thick stick.
Cam? Yeah.
I mean, look, this is all very shocking things to hear and to just take in. I just hope justice is found for all the people. I'm kind of wondering, like, all right, he null and voided his own NDA by not paying out the agreed sum, which to me is the most dumbest thing ever. Like,
it's not the first time.
Trying to justify it by, I paid for the surgery, so that probably takes out of the sum of the money. But at the end of the day, to keep all of this under wraps, to keep everything, how you had originally arranged it to be, just pay the money out. Now you got to pay more. Your image, there's irreparable damage about to be done to his whole reputation, to everything, and it's just ridiculous. I mean, I understand, like, she agreed to certain things at first, but you shouldn't be doing this type of stuff to people.
Diezel.
I used to call him Uncle Vinny, and I'm with her. She should take every fucking penny. People like him deserve to get what they get, because you out here, you taking advantage because you got money. It don't make it right for you to be taking advantages of these people. Like Vince, you come up from a place where you were like abused. You know what I mean? And like then you take and that's the thing about it. You gotta watch out for these people that came up from that type of environment of pain, right? And then when they get on and they get money, they get into things like that. And it's a shame, and it's fucked up to hear that. Now, like, your company has to suffer from your wrongdoings, and then it is a great thing that he retired, and I'm glad that he's finally stepped away, because the position that where WWE is trying, I don't think Vince need to be a part of that, because those behaviors are not tolerated on no level. I have sisters, nieces, and future to come. You know what I mean? So, I don't respect that.
And I want to say that, at the end of the day, I feel for Janelle, in the situation. Obviously, she is a victim here, because she didn't know what was right from wrong, by dealing in the situation. And of course, because you're dealing with predators, you're going to end up being prey, and you're going to end up being taken advantage of. And, and she was passed around like a peace pipe. So the fact is that, I can only hope that the money's going to bring her some more healing that she needs. In the situation, obviously, we've all known situations, in terms of celebrities, of people that have been through stuff like this, and it is a process. Hopefully she does get the healing she needs. Hopefully she doesn't get treated she doesn't get treated irrationally or disrespected or anything because she brought this to light. Because guess what? Once we hear stuff like this, as we see, there's always a pattern. There's more people that come out, right? Because if people always say, "Oh, I was a victim," and sometimes it takes that one person to be the voice to make other people know it's okay, to create the safe space to report what they went through and what have you. Because going back in time brings me back to 1991. This is the first person that accused Vince McMahon of sexual assault. Okay, and it was a female referee that said that she was sexually assaulted by Vince McMahon in his limousine. And because of who he was at the time and his status, no one took her seriously. So
this was in 92, 91, right?
91. Yeah. So that was the first person to actually come out and say that Vince McMahon sexually assaulted me. And her case, I'm sorry.
And that alone right there, it shows like, bro, you have a pattern. And not only do you have a pattern, as time went along, you got worse. You kept like upgrading and evolving into something like to the point where you damage this woman to where she has to get surgery.
Right.
That's crazy.
I would go as far as to say this, right? Like, if you think about it, right? Like, people, I've always heard and learned from experience, like, money just makes you more of who you are, right?
Absolutely.
And so when you were talking about earlier how the Mr. McMahon character and Vince McMahon came to a head and they met, he was showing us via was fantasy on WWE programming who Mr. McMahon was. Like, he has these thoughts, right? He has this side in him, right? This is what he wants to be, and he parlayed it into a character and he made money off it. But like, the puppies and the kitties and objectifying women and treating women like trash. Even, the whole storyline with his own daughter, where he sacrificed her to the Undertaker. Like all of these things, he was really thinking about that. Like, and so, all things can be true about one person, right? Like, he can be a great, entrepreneur and a great business person and a nice guy and a ruthless guy and a cruel guy and a sexual deviant. All these things can be true. But I think that the issue is the actions that follow these type of things, right? And him just bringing that and doing that and the way he did it is just inhumane, and it's real creepy.
It is. It absolutely is. All right. Okay. I don't have no more stories to cover, but I just got 2 honorable mentions, and that's it. One, I want to congratulate. I want to congratulate the Kansas City Chiefs for winning today against the Baltimore Ravens.
That's the one with Taylor Swift.
Boyfriend. Travis Kelce.
Fuck that shit. Fuck
that's right. Fuck the Chiefs.
Fuck by no Kansas City Chiefs, nigga.
Fuck the Chiefs, nigga.
Okay. And I also want to
congratulate perpetrating Native Americans, indigenous peoples' cultures. Fuck that shit. Fuck the Chiefs.
Okay. Now, having said that,
that's what I'm talking about. Sunday church dinners.
That's right.
Again, let me just finish this one right here. Okay. So I also want to congratulate the 49ers, all right, for winning against the Detroit Lions. All right. So now we have a rematch, all right, at the Super Bowl of the Kansas City Chiefs versus the 49ers. Still with no Colin Kaepernick, but that's a whole different story on a different day. But we want to congratulate them for both winning the AFC and NFC games today, to now be in the Super Bowl.
We want to congratulate, or you want to congratulate? Because I don't want to congratulate neither one of those teams.
Well, here's the thing. I understand people take, sports personally, and I'm okay with that. I just say that at the end of the day, I want to congratulate the sportsmanship, okay? And also, what they did to get to where they are today, right? Because the story, I really wanted, for the city of Detroit, I really wanted the Lions to
Me
win.
too.
I was so big on the Lions to win. I was like, it would be, first of all, they had an amazing season. The fact that they got to today was just an amazing thing, and you cannot take it away from them. And there's no losers on that team. Okay, those guys took a team that could never get to the Super Bowl.
That's true.
They got
That's
this close to winning, and I want to say that that the city of Detroit deserved that. And you guys can still, anybody that will listen to our show or watches our show on YouTube, you're from the city of Detroit. Look, understand something. Today was not a loss. Okay, your team did something that our fucking team in New York couldn't do. You got all the way to the end. Both of them. And we have two. Okay, and you guys got all the way to the end. And I want to congratulate you, the Detroit Lions, and the entire city of Detroit. Unfortunately, there's always next year. You're going to play again, play harder, and you will be in the Super Bowl. And just congratulate to the 49ers and the Chiefs. And one more honorable mention, and that's it. And then what I want to say is that, I just want to shout out the WWE, right, for making their deal with Netflix. I think that was an incredible thing. I think that it's going to build a lot of bridges. I think that also one major thing is that this is why the WWE closed WWE Films a few years ago. Okay? And I feel that this deal here is where you're going to see the wrestlers start transitioning more into doing movies.
Yep, agreed.
And Netflix has a big production company. They'll be able to use the WWE talent and put them up at star level quality in terms of Hollywood. So that's why I think that's a major win for WWE.
I think what was a big hit with them and this current partnership was them testing the waters a few years ago with that Undertaker and New Day and Netflix interactive special or whatever. Mm-hmm. That was a big hit. And it's actually, they did.
Was it a big hit?
There were people
who pretty well.
I know that don't watch wrestling that watch that and they like the interactiveness of choosing the path and finding different ways to do the different endings. So I think it was a big hit overall. I don't know the actual streaming numbers. I ain't do all that research, but I do remember it.
Oh, but you knew the 7th Royal Rumble, but you ain't got your streaming numbers. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck
I'm fucking with you. Go ahead.
He's not fucking with you. He's saying the truth.
I don't know what you're talking about with that special, bro. But do you think that they come with if they come to Netflix, will they change the TV rating? And also too, right?
You still want this TV rating change?
I'm listen, yeah, I do. And also too,
he wants to bring back the puppy.
They're going to finish with their contract with the USA deal in October. So where they want to be for the next following months?
You know what? I'm glad you just said that because that's exactly what the next point I was going to make. That NBC Universal being extremely petty. Okay, they're being extremely petty. That they're saying that they're not going to carry the WWE Monday Night Raw past September. Okay, so they're being extremely petty with that. So I think that might speed up the deal with Netflix, that we might get it this year versus getting it January 2025, because somebody has to carry one of their flagship shows. So a network has to carry it. So it might end up pushing up further. I just think that they're being very petty on it because maybe and it goes back to what we said in season 2, was that I think NBC Universal really wanted both shows.
Mm-hmm.
I think they truly did want both shows, and the fact that they're losing Monday Night Raw and NXT, that probably pissed them the fuck off, right? Because they're probably saying loyalty is what we would expect, that you would give us the first right of refusal, but obviously that's not the case when it comes to money. Cam, what were you going to say?
Yeah, they got offered $500 million to $250. I mean, come on. Y'all ain't trying to give me no bigger offer for the shit that we be doing, the shit that we putting in, and we about to go a new route. We got new creative and all that. We guarantee you to get more viewership on Mondays, but I don't know how true that is because they have so much competition on Mondays. This is why Nick Khan saying it might not be Monday Night Raw anymore. It could be something else Raw. You might never know.
Yeah,
right. It's just WWE. I was thinking that that maybe they might negotiate an extension, and maybe NBC Universal is kind of just playing hardball with the extension. But it could also just like you said, speed up the Netflix deal. I don't like the fact that they gotta be so, I guess, petty in a sense. But at the end of the day, money talks. And if you came at me with $3 billion, but somebody outbid you at $5 billion, like, what you want me to do about it? Put yourself in my shoes. Would you have taken the $3 billion deal, or would you have taken the $5 billion deal?
It depends on how it's dispersed and what else comes with the deal. We do know that all things are not lost because SmackDown will be going to the USA Network. So It's not like all things are lost. And this is why when we were talking earlier about Cody winning the Royal Rumble, and if he is to eventually dethrone Roman, we will have someone of the likes of Cody Rhodes who's known to build up an audience on Raw and now have them on SmackDown. So I think that's why that probably plays into a very important part of the deal. So I don't know why Universal is being petty, but Universal is losing with a lot of things. They're not losing, they're not closing. The company is flourishing and well, but they're losing a lot of their content and original content series.
But one thing, they actually picked up the NFL now.
Right.
So Peacock picked up the NFL, and now they're going to be the home also of FIFA soccer as well.
Right. They're gonna get more soccer, and so I don't know why they mad at the WWE, because the WWE is only moving like other sports leagues move, right? Other sports leagues, like, they shop around their league to showcase their content on numerous networks and on numerous channels. I guess it just felt like, just like how Fox and the NFC have been like a tight knit partnership, I guess they figured it would be the same thing. Like, no matter what the WWE was doing, they wouldn't have took Raw off of USA. I think that's really the main thing. But it's not personal. It's business.
Just business. That's how it is. You gonna say something? Or you good?
No.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay, cool.
That is it on the turnbuckle talk.
Wow, that was a very robust turnbuckle talk, and I hope
robusting,
beefy.
Wow, it was a lot. It was a lot going on with Vince McMahon,
mesmerizing,
overriding. It was everybody was there, all the black wrestlers ever. Wow, good story. Thank you, Mash.
Pontificating
and defecating, clearly.
Yes, there was some defecation.
However, you made a comment about us getting a rematch with the Super Bowl, which is why I was saying maybe that's also why WWE is moving in a way just like a sports company with giving us a rematch possibly with Roman and Cody Rhodes. But now that we've gotten enlightened, let's get just a little ignorant. I'm just kidding. It's time for the guy who has the voice that makes them moist. Sour Diezel, it's time to unhook the velvet rope and open up the smoking section. Sour Diezel, what you got with us for the smoking section, King?
I got smoke with my people. I got smoke with my IWC community, man. I got smoke with them because the nerve of you motherfuckers to get mad over. Listen, we do this. This is fantasy booking, right? So a lot of us fantasy book ourselves into a situation, into a corner, to where we ain't happy with the results of the Royal Rumble, and that's tough luck on us. Shut the fuck up. Enjoy what is given to you. And I don't know, because listen here, we already know that. Listen, we already know that Cody was going to finish the story. How many of y'all motherfuckers want Cody to finish the story? Yes or no? You want him to finish the story or not?
No.
I mean, I don't know what the finishing of the story looks like. He is on the finish the story.
No to you. No. Well, tough fucking shit. He's going to finish the story. I mean, we already know how this is going to go, people.
Do we?
We already know how this was going to go. We can still get CM Punk at WrestleMania. So what are we all upset for? Why are your fucking wrestling panties in the bunch? Let me know why.
Wow, wrestling panties. Those has like little Mae Young Moolah characters on them.
It has whatever you want. It has whatever you want to be on them.
You better be careful.
Heard you.
Vince might come sniffing around. You know he liked them.
And Bianca's on to design them.
With Don on that himself.
Bianca Belair's on to design them. That's my baby. That's my boo. Oh, no. But what's your thoughts about on that situation? Like as far as like the fantasy, like I love fantasy booking, but I feel like we be fantasy booking ourselves into a corner, and we don't get to see the outcome of what we fucking book, and that's only because we're not a part of the fucking creative assholes.
I mean, not that doesn't mean that we can't be. I feel like we said about the Royal Rumble statement, mash out reverb, and I'm gonna reverb it again right here. Is that sometimes they because a lot of wrestling fans are comic book fans as well and or gamers. The fantasy, the mind like expands and have this, unlimited thought, right? But when you really look at the reality of the situation, like a lot of people need to do is sometimes come out of fantasy, come out of Barbie's world, and come into the real world and transition into the real world and see what is viable, that this is a business. They have to still put butts in seats. All those people feel like no matter what WWE do, they're going to get butts in seats, especially if they go to major cities. But they still have merch to sell, put butts in seats, stories to tell, and a double night in a very tough wrestling crowd of Philadelphia to try to satisfy thousands and thousands, if not millions and millions of fans. So that's what I think of that. They'll get over it. It's a feeling. This too shall pass. Put a huge H on your chest and handle it.
Oh, I thought that 8% for handicapped, but I like that one. Well, we got my good milk dud head brother. I'm gonna pass it on to my brother with the Christmas ornament ball head. That's you, Cam.
Oh, ornament. It's all right. Ladies love it.
Do they?
I mean, he could be the voice to make a noise, but the ladies can't love it for me. All right, whatever.
Ladies
love Masquerade Cam.
That's right, baby.
Let's make the shirts right now. We're gonna sell off of the
like hotcakes. Like hotcakes.
Are they gonna come with sweatpants, like matching sweats?
You know what? That's good. I definitely would do that because I'm that kind of dude. I do like the whole sweat outfit. You know what I'm saying?
No, Kev, don't take the whole package with this one. Ignore it. Don't take the whole package.
It's gonna be the whole package sweatsuit.
Don't take the whole package.
Don't put the whole package sweatsuit on, Cam.
Gonna have the whole and package on the back. It goes right around the hips. Wonderful. Go ahead. Cam,
like apple bottoms.
Baby fat? No, baby fat.
Sergio Valentes.
Oh my God.
Go ahead, Cam. Sorry.
Oh man. I think it is what it is. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, just like everybody else. We're gonna sit back. We're gonna see what unfolds, and whatever the booking is, the booking is. I mean, wrestling never stops, and it's not gonna be the first time they misstep. If it's a misstep, it ain't gonna be the last neither.
But people was booking to be MJF to be there. Like, are you fucking kidding me? We know that's not going to happen.
Why not? We all swore up and down CM Punk wasn't really coming back to WWE, and then lo and behold, and I think that's really what it is. Like that, I think that set a bar, right, or expectation. Like if they could pull this nigga back, they could do any fucking thing. Like even Jade Cargill, like we knew she was coming, but like to actually see her there, that was pretty hot. That was pretty dope.
You know what I liked about that segment with Jade Cargill? The fact that the fans was giving a holy shit moment for her, like as if we didn't know that she wasn't signed. You know what I mean? That they treated Jade Cargill like a fucking star. She's a star. She is going to shine very bright in this company.
In WWE.
Thoughts?
I just want to say one thing. It's wrestling. Okay? It's fucking wrestling. Okay? It's wrestling. Everything's predictable. It's pre-predicted anyway. It's wrestling. Cover your mouth, Cam. It's wrestling. Okay? It's fucking wrestling. All right?
The blood
Okay?
clot.
Yes.
Clearly, based on the football games are predetermined too. But
I believe
have that
boxing is
conversation.
predetermined. I actually believe boxing is predetermined. I've always believed that.
We ain't ready to have that real sports conversation. How people get on wrestling, but
you don't know about boxing being predetermined.
I mean, it can be fixed, but I don't think it's predetermined. I don't think every match is predetermined, bro. I don't think so. I think it's an honest sport, and you can book it or have it fixed, but I don't think it's predetermined. I think UFC is also not predetermined either.
I think it's predetermined as well. But I'm just saying that at the end of the day, I feel that it's wrestling. We got to get over it. We got to get over it.
All right.
People are.
I don't want to sidebar too much.
People are really upset.
Outside of somebody getting knocked out or submitted, it's predetermined. Like if it goes to the cards.
No. What I'm saying is at the end of the day, is I always believe that somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose. Now, to answer your question, maybe not every single match is predetermined, but I believe that people take that.
Oh, okay.
I also feel like that. The two last entrants, not entrants, the two last people in the ring, Cody and CM Punk. I feel like it should have went. I feel like it should have went a little longer, just a little bit to give us a more tease of like who's going to win. I don't think it was like no teaser, like really like.
I think they was really just trying to save the potential future matchup, and then maybe also CM Punk's like warm back into the thing because he did take some good bumps in the Royal Rumble, but I don't think they was trying to overwork him too much in that match.
And also too, remember I told you they saying that Cody lost a tooth last night, and I told you it was at one point I did see something come out of his mouth.
You called it
the Claymore. They said it was a Claymore. Drew kicked that tooth out of his mouth.
Was it?
Tooth out.
I think so. It was between that or the Braun Breaker spear. Because remember, I was like, is that a tooth in the ring?
Yeah. Braun Breaker was packing these motherfuckers up. Listen, man. The most smoke that I have is like basically the Royal Rumble match. Like it was like some spots that was lost to some deserving people. Like where was Chad? Where was Chad? Where was he? I ain't want to see Otis. Cool. I'm glad they kept him out. But no Chad Gable.
Where was Pete Dunne?
No Put Dunne. No Tyler Bite. Like
Tyler Bates.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I think they could have did without. I think they could have did without Kaiser. That like if we're gonna like
what? He's a star runner on Monday Night Raw. What do you mean? Ludwig Kaiser out. That's what led up to Gunter coming out.
I got it. But I'm just saying, if we're taking some people out, yeah, obviously Pat McAfee, right? But like, who else? Like, because we got a list of people that we
could have took Omar Sidney to be there.
I'm gonna have to agree with that.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. I mean,
well, but what
especially because how they used him, like he was in and out real quick. Like it was just stupid.
They basically was using everybody that we seen probably like in the recent months that they was doing stories with, and that's they are giving pushes. But if that's the case, why there was no fucking Chad Gable? I'm upset that there was no Chad Gable.
Or maybe this is storyline brewing. This is why he'll be on the journey he's on, because he wasn't even considered to be in the Royal Rumble and he deserved some sort of singles champion. Maybe that's his story. I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie, like, we had Kofi out there, but Kofi didn't do no real Kofi stuff. Like Kofi
I was gonna say no tricks. Him or Naomi.
What about Montez Ford?
The stunts and like he
I do feel some of the Street Profits should have been like they could have had them in there too. Tez, and with Tez having that show about to come out with Bianca Belair, that would have been a good spot for Tez.
But not if he was going to come in and get thrown out by like a Bronson Reed. No, then leave him out, save him for. They used them to come out just like the Authors of Pain. They used them because they're in the built-in rivalry with Bobby Lashley.
Do you think it's going to be a 6-man tag at WrestleMania, or do you think it's going to be a tag match and then a singles match?
Oh, between the
final Street Profits and then Karrion Kross, Bobby Lashley, or is it going to be a big six-man tag brawl?
That depends on how the build goes when they finally clash. Is it worth continuing, and is it like, do the fans want to see more of it? I think that's the only way it will get to a WrestleMania card. Bobby Lashley's going to get to WrestleMania regardless.
Especially as it was messed up how he wasn't able to be a part of WrestleMania last year.
All right. What else you got?
You got anything? Smoking anything else?
We already spoke on the Vince McMahon. We already smoked on that pack. I don't want to smoke on his ass anymore.
We got some interesting things that happen. We got the WWE 2K4 cover.
Congratulations are in order to my women of wrestling, Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley, for being on the cover of the new WWE 2K24, which I am a gamer in that. I have all the games. I have from fucking when SmackDown first came out. Got all the games. So when that game come out, who wants to smoke?
Challenge.
Yeah, all right. You want to smoke? I'm gonna send up my my PSN. I got PS5. So if you ain't PS5, I don't know what to tell you.
They cross platforms now.
But yeah, they do cross platforms. So I'll be able to smoke on that ass. Pause.
Yeah, me and Mash are the Xboxers.
Yeah, also Androiders. So
yeah.
That tells
you have superior technology. You're welcome. You have superior technology.
Yes.
That's very, very good. Unfortunately, I don't think you guys were superior. And I'm not even sure if Mashout, you're still the predictions profit champion, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. You got anything else in the smoking section?
All the smoke is done.
Wow, he put the blunt out. Also, congratulations is in order. Sometimes when Cubans speak, they speak things into existence. Last week, we had Janelle from HR in here. She only expounded and expressed it upon a feeling that I've had for so very long. Kevin Patrick is removed from the commentary table. I guess all of y'all are expressing how you feel about that. There's no lead on staying with that.
Nah.
I mean, time out.
Goodbye.
Time out. Now, we didn't want the man to lose his job.
No.
We wanted him off of commentary.
Yes.
Him being off of commentary was a good thing. But for them to fire him, for them to take him off of commentary and then fire him is crazy. So you mean to tell me they have nothing for him else to do?
You have like your job when you come in and work 8 hours.
You need him to be recycled like Byron Saxton got recycled?
Yeah, like what was wrong with Kevin Patrick? He could have went back to doing.
Hold on. I think where his talent is his voice, right? But the audience was getting tired of hearing his voice. So if you had him on camera, he's not a wrestler, right? If he's going to be an on-screen camera talent, then we got to hear his voice, which we don't want to hear. So unless he has other skills that he could have did behind the scenes, the only other choice is to let him go.
No. We didn't want to hear his voice on commentary calling
not for 2 hours, not for 3 hours.
We didn't want to hear that. Like a good hearing him like interview somebody in the back. I could rock with that. We can go with that. Or maybe turn his ass into like an evil fucking manager or something.
But you realize the interviews in the back now is strictly women. Like they don't do the male interviewers anymore.
Well, they should have started doing that again.
Oh, so you would want to see him back? You know who you could take this up with? You could take this up with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Right.
Yeah.
He's now on the board, sitting at the head of the table. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he's at the side of the table.
He's at the side. You know.
I like that, Sour D's. I definitely like that.
I don't know who the head of the table is. Head of the table has to be Nick Khan, or I don't know how to say this man's name because I always get him mixed with Andre Hawani, the one who does the.
You mean Ariel?
Yeah, him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I always get them mixed up. So which is
Ari Emanuel?
See what?
Ari
Emanuel.
Ari Emanuel and Ariel Hawani is okay. All right, I got it.
He's the
so Ari Emanuel is at the head of the table.
And that he absolutely
is. That is.
He's and The Rock got to be on the side of that table next to him because he's been Rock's business partner for
a very long time.
Very long time. He's his agent.
They've been ballers. They've been balling and being ballers. Yep.
Oh, he did ballers with him?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, he had. Yeah.
I only thought he did Entourage.
No, he did Baller too.
Oh wow. Okay. Wow.
This is really the same circle. You know, they probably voting Republican in Florida. You know, it's whatever. It's cool. Shouts out to them. Shouts out to whatever people gonna do. But with that being said, right?
Oh, I thought we were still talking on that.
We are. Okay.
I thought we were because I want to know. Well, I don't know. Like, what do you think is expected to come with that? With The Rock being on a board now, Masha, what are you doing?
I'm so sorry. I'm reading. I was reading something.
Oh, I thought you were eating.
No, both can be true.
Because you know our rules.
You can read and eat.
I could have sworn before you picked up the spoon.
I'm chewing. I was eating a sour. That was it.
The neon gummy.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was trying to read up a little bit more on The Rock. You know, being on the board. I think that with him,
shout out to you.
Yes, two things. So being that he's on the board of TKO, he's going to be over WWE and the UFC.
Yep.
So I think that the transition process between him working through both companies is where he might be that person to be that bridge to make it work. You know, I don't think he's going to be involved in WWE creative because remember, being a board member doesn't mean you're actually running the company. You know what I'm saying? I sit on two boards of two companies, but personally, but I have nothing to do with the day-to-day stuff or what happens. Right? It's just like they call you for major decisions. You know what I'm saying? Like a proxy vote for we're gonna downsize this. What do you guys feel about that? And we're trying to hire a new CEO, but you're not going to be involved in day to day. And also on the board, your job is also to advocate to bring more money. So, like when they're renegotiating deals in between, the deals or the international venues or things like that, that's when you're going to use The Rock for, because then he'll be able to. And
especially with their film production stuff getting ready to kick off, it seemed like Rock has definitely taken a break from being on screen with acting, especially with after the strike. He seemed like he's just making a lot more business deal moves as opposed to trying to be on camera and stuff like that. So that's probably going to be where he lends his expertise.
Okay, right. Can you imagine WrestleMania presented by Terramata Tequila?
Yeah, I can see
that. But has WWE ever did business with an alcoholic company though? Like, especially after they went public? No, right? They don't do that.
I don't know. But they're gonna.
But that energy drink he has, was it Tao or Toa or something like that? That might be one of the sponsors coming up.
Well, didn't they get sponsored by like Mike's Hard Lemonade before or some shit like that? They did shit like that, so I don't see why they won't do like a Rock's a rock tequila or something maybe a hard rock lemonade.
Hard
Right.
rock.
Yeah.
I'm just amazed
maybe
how
something
the
more
attitude
marketable, like
era
the
is like.
People's Choice, something like that. I don't know.
I'm amazed how the attitude era is
Hard
like.
rock.
Basically running wrestling. You got The Rock on the board.
You really want
got
that TV
Triple
rating
H.
to change?
This beverage have you layeth the smacketh down on the floor. You know what I mean?
Go ahead, B.
Like I was last weekend.
Shouts out to you though. You made it. You here.
Yeah, bro.
I don't know how I made it, ladies and gentlemen.
Real soldier.
Listen. I woke up the next morning. My head was busted. You know what I think happened? I think I done ran into Jimmy Pockets.
Jimmy Pockets. Where's your pockets empty?
Yeah, that's the old promote. That's the old promoter from
So it is.
Yeah.
PPW.
Yeah.
Oh, for those of you who don't know, that's professional park wrestling. So I think I might have ran into him. I believe I seen like a old school Cadillac. And
right.
I heard it cut the corner. Don't nobody cut the corners. Don't nobody cut the corners.
You participated in a Falls Count in any borough match. Is that what it was?
I believe so. I got
hardcore rules. We got you. You know, I know how you probably won that.
It was a street fight.
Knuckles was all bruised up, bloody. Had like a cut on the side. I might have got poked. I don't know. It wasn't one of those R. Anderson pokes though. When he poked up Sid Vicious back in the day. But listen, man, because I told you I was supposed to be in the Royal Rumble this weekend.
Right.
But due to my injuries,
you weren't medically cleared.
So they sent in Omos instead.
612.
Right.
The next giant.
And why do you think I said Omos did not deserve that spot? It was supposed to.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. The New York Park Wrestling Alliance champion, Diezel, billed at 612, was supposed to be in the 2024 Royal Rumble surprise entrant. But nonetheless, we're gonna move on to the next segment. 1, 2, 3. You was on the TP last week, but now we're gonna get into the PP, not the Vince PP, but that is the pinning perspectives. Masquerade Cam, take away. What questions you got for us to get our 1, 2, 3 pinning perspectives?
Yeah. Oh man, thank you so much for the wonderful intro there, Mr. Brandon. So this week we have a pinning perspective called Finish Him. All right. What this is well, we're gonna get into what we think is some of the worst or wackest, however you want to picture it, finishers in the WWE. Like, what is some of the worst finishers you guys have ever seen?
Trick Williams.
Oh, well, go ahead.
Trick Williams, that knee, I don't know what the fuck it is. I do not like it. Also, I think you need to go back into the motherfucking the Performance Center, which is right next to your goddamn every Tuesday night where we see you at. You need to go work on your moveset. I hate that goddamn move as a finisher. It is the worst. A fucking high running knee. I understand it was a Harley Race knee. Cool, great, granted. But come on. I'm tired of seeing fucking knees. The knee. These knees are just as worse as seeing fucking super kicks now.
Yep, that was on my list.
Doing them.
Mm-hmm. Back in the day, Shawn
I'm won
world titles with the super kick, and now everyone does them in every match. Uso.
I'm gonna go with
this generation's DDT.
Yep, that's one of them.
I'm gonna go with the worst finishing move of all time.
It's the leg
drop.
Leg drop. It is.
Oh,
I second you, brother. I third that, brother.
But it was the series of moves that led to the leg drop. You know what I'm saying? You had to set him up. At first, you used to set him up with the body slam, right? Oh, you're back. Everything you can't get up, right? As he got older, he had to make the pivot. He had to adjust. You still get that big size 14 in the air. So he said, oh, you're knocked out, you're unconscious, you're woozy, you don't know what's going on. And all of a sudden, you got this big superstar just coming up from the heavens and just on the throat. You can't breathe. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you something.
You have no choice.
It made absolutely no sense. You know why? Because he always sold his arms. We're talking about the
24
brothers. So he should have been doing something with his fucking arms and not them raggedy, scrawny ass fucking legs. Okay?
You know,
I'm not sold on a fucking leg drop. Ooh, because
in his old age, yeah, he could have changed it around. He could have changed it when his younger days, when he was over 300 pounds. It made sense because his legs was big.
Cam, I'm sorry, my brother.
It's not like you're a Hogan
fan. Sell that whack ass move no more than you are selling me on what the fuck Hulk Hogan was trying to do before the move. Okay, you didn't sell me on the intro of the Royal Rumble yesterday. I was very pissed off about that too. That's how I knew it was gonna be a racist Royal Rumble. But other than that, that is one of the weakest and wackest move. I had the leg drop and super kick on my list too. Anybody else got something?
Oh damn! Wait! Hold on. You think the super kick like from since when Shawn Michaels?
No. I was stating back in the day, just like the knee you hate, Harley Race won a lot of championships with that knee. Shawn Michaels had an illustrious career by super kicking people and winning. I just said now they do it a lot, so I was agreeing with you. They do the super kick too much. Is in every match, like.
Yeah.
So it's just like the DDT when Jake the Snake used to do it. It was a powerful thing. Now,
so are we talking about the worst finisher, and also the most overused moves in wrestling?
If it makes it the worst finisher, then yeah, because overused moves can be something else. But if it's overused and the worst finisher, go for it. Why not?
But I believe the like I said. The knee is the worst finisher, and it is one of the most overused moves in all of fucking wrestling. Because everybody want to say, "Oh, it's a strike," but it's like, goddamn, like, is it going to knock you out, or what the fuck is it going to do? Because I see everybody doing it. Like, who's going to hit with a knee before? Be concussed? Like,
So I'm glad you said that because I just want to go over a few points as to what to me makes a great finisher, and let me know if you agree. Right, for me, believability. Right, does this move really make me believe that the opponent receiving this move is going to be out and done for the count?
Did you research this?
No, I'm just throwing this out there.
Go ahead.
What my heart says.
That's good.
Isn't that part of it? Like the believability, right? So does it have a good sound? Does it have a good look? Is the person performing it doing it clean? Like, for example. I don't like the way Cody does the Crossroads. I love the way Damian Priest does it. The Reckoning looks better than the Crossroads. It's not really sometimes the move, but how it's executed. You know what I'm saying? Like the Rock Bottom in the book and the bookend is the same move, but the Rock does it way better than Booker T does it. You know what I mean? So I think that's part of it, the believability, the sell of it. You know what I mean? I had a couple moves that I thought was like some of the worst of all time. Kali's chop to the head, to me, that was like, I'm pretty sure his big ass hand, it does hurt, but it just looked stupid, right? Like at the end of the day, it just looks stupid. I still don't like the Samoan spike. I don't care who does it, whether it's Umaga or whether it's Solo. I just never liked the Samoan spike. Anybody who ever tried to do the bear hug as a finisher, to me, that was just a lazy finisher. I understand when Bruno was doing it back in his day, it was the bear hug. He's so strong. He's going to strangle you to death.
You ever been put in a bear hug?
You ever been hit with a knee?
You're talking to a former 10-time champ. Of course, I've been hit with a knee.
Of course, you lost the title.
To him, it's the believability.
I didn't lose.
Do it well.
I never lost a match to a goddamn running knee. Are you shitting me?
All right, I think.
Yeah.
Right, so some more moves I didn't like was the Warrior Splash. You ever like that?
Oh my god!
I always thought that shit was dry.
I never really liked no splashes. The only one I really like is the Bronson Reed one.
Yeah, but like I think his setup was just, or it was the gorilla press, which was impressive, right? But then he just splashed on your back, like that. To me, didn't make no effing sense at all. But
I guess it's the intensity that's coming down and the gravity, the gravitational pull.
But didn't he do that other stuff where you're like, if he was like down and he run to the rope and run back and then shoulder like press you? Wasn't that?
Yeah, like he built some momentum like The Rock used to do or something like that. That made more sense. Or go to the top rope or something. But anyway,
I don't want to see the Ultimate Warrior on the top rope.
That's the next thing. I think he should have did a gorilla press into like a power slam or something. I think that's what would have been more impressive.
No, those are like back in the day regular ass moves. So like they wasn't even advanced yet. So
yeah, those are the moves. In that time period, it was innovative. It was like oh snap type of stuff. You know what I mean? Now this one more move I really never liked, but I understand the entertainment of it was the Cobra. Like it was never believable to me, right? Like I think the joke of it, right? Like it was not. Yeah, don't do it. Don't you dare. No. The Cobra's.
You don't believe that the nigga hit you like the Samoan spike?
No.
Out for 3 seconds.
The man put on a snake sock and was like, "Cobra."
About Mr. Sacco.
Oh, see, with that, he's really grabbing your what is it, the tongue or the back of your
the goal, like,
you know what I mean? It's a submission. It's not a strike. The hell is this? But Monopoly, like.
I didn't say the mandible claw. I said Mr. Sacco.
All right, what else you got? What else you got, Cam?
Trash. I think I want to. Oh yeah, so I also wanted to get into like what we also feel about like what was the real demise of WCW. We all know that The Rock is coming up with a docu-series on WCW called The Mysterious Demise of WCW. But like, what do we all think? To me, at the end of the day, I think it was just a matter of laziness and complacency. Right? Like after they felt like they had the formula of programming and winning and whatnot, I just feel like they just got lazy and complacent and thought like they was untouchable.
I feel like it was laziness. It was laziness from people who didn't know the business. Right? They were not Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon was the guy who came up from the ground up, started from the bottom. And I always feel like the people who strives and starts from the bottom always rise to the top, and they always become winners. Yeah, it does. So you had Ted. You had what was his name again? Ted
Turner.
Ted Turner.
Call him Ted Billionaire. You had Ted Turner. He was already
billionaire Ted.
Right. He was already into something. He was a billionaire already. You know what I mean? So he tried to think he could get into the business of wrestling, and it didn't do well for him. I think that was his demise. Like he was hiring and got some of the people that he thought that was best for the business, and they weren't. You had talent running the show. See, it is different because you'll say now we have talent running the show, but we have, I guess we are in luck that we have these people when they matured at their best. You had Kevin Nash, Razor Ramon, Scott Hall, and whoever else, Hulk Hogan, running WCW, and they ran them down to the fucking ground. That was a demise.
I don't necessarily know, because if it wasn't for Kevin Nash and Scott Hall with those guaranteed contracts, we wouldn't be seeing wrestlers have the contracts that they have today. A lot of them, even as the guest said last week, and as we know in the history, that sometimes they were paid per diem, right? As appearance, as it was, but to have a guaranteed contract and to know that, hey, whether like when Jay Bougie was on the show, whether you're in catering, getting knowledge, or are you in the main event or the opening, you're still guaranteed to be able to kind of put food in your family or your mouth. So I don't necessarily think that was the demise. What I think is part of not to disagree. It wasn't a disagreeing. If that should believe, that should believe. But I'm just saying, like, it was a silver lining out of Kevin Nash and them not showing up to work and being lazy. So it was a catch-22 kind of speak. What I think is, in my eyes, creatively on screen, when I tuned out of WCW, I always say it was the year 2000. So WCW 2000, when the logo changed and the set was kind of crazy, and I think Vince Russo had left WWE and was over at WCW, and Jeff Jarrett and Hulk Hogan, like that whole, when WCW was laying the groundwork for TNA early days, is when I think was what led to the demise of WCW. Mashout, you seem to kind of be an expert when it comes to the business sides of things. What do you think led to the demise of WCW?
Wow. Okay. I would agree with the laziness. That's number one. Lazy booking. Right. But I think the pivotal year that ended WCW, a lot of people will say it's 2000. I'm going to go back to 1998.
The NWO.
Because, right. I'm going to say because the Royal Rumble of 1998 happened with Mike Tyson, and then WrestleMania 14, the WCW started to change the flow. Right then and there, the flow started to change, and they could not keep up. Hence, they made a golden mistake in July of 1998 of putting Hulk Hogan versus Goldberg on Monday Nitro at the Georgia Dome. That should have been the Bash of the Beach in 1998, right? Because that was when now you have the rise of Goldberg, and Goldberg should have been neck and neck with Stone Cold, right? If that's the way things should have ran. Eric Bischoff was a one-trick pony. All he knew was NWO, right? And he started to ignore the younger talent, the Chris Jerichos, the Chris Benoits, the Eddie Guerreros, and stuff like that. And him, much like Tony Khan, lost good talent because he didn't know what to do with them. Mick Foley, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, The Undertaker. These are all people that he ended up letting go of because he didn't know what to do with them. Okay? Fast forward, right? Turner Broadcasting gets sold. Okay? And to AOL. AOL is like, we don't want wrestling. Okay? Like AOL says we don't want wrestling. And what ends up happening now is, and now we have now everybody's like, well, you know what, fuck it. Let's sell the company. Right? And also Vince didn't want anything to do with it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, all those things, I think maybe one after show we should do a whole deep dive in this. I believe there's a whole bunch of different things that stem to destroying that company because there's no reason why they went out of business if all those things didn't happen. All right.
Okay.
Well,
You was done. All right. So you think it should be a longer discussion because there's a lot more to unpack when it comes to the demise. So you believe the demise started technically 98, the NWO. The insertion of Eric Bischoff at an executive level doing the lazy booking and the lazy talent.
Because they was fucking adding everybody to NWO that didn't even fucking need to be added in there.
Right.
Like, why the fuck was Scott Norton in there? And Virgil and the $1 Million Man. What was they gonna
or Horace Hogan?
Yeah, Horace Hogan. Yeah, what was that all about?
IRS wasn't IRS was with them.
Yep. I think the natural disasters, the nasty boys, all them niggas in 1990.
They didn't know what to do, man. Like, and then the different versions of it, the Wolfpack, the Silver and Black,
the LWO that WWE is reusing right now with the corny people. Except for Zelina Vega, who had a very good showing in the Royal Rumble, by the way, as she always does.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but with that being said, we're going to move on, and we're going to go into our wrestler of the week. Sour Diezel. A lot happened. We saw a lot of people, a lot of wrestling, as you always say this week. Who is your wrestler of the week?
Well, I'm about to say my wrestler of the week is, I want to keep picking the same people, but it's not my fault that the same fucking people keep fucking shining. And I'm going to give it to Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes did his thing in at the Royal Rumble. He did his thing on SmackDown, and he's about to do his thing at the next coming event at NXT with the Dusty Rhodes Classic. So yeah, my wrestler of the week is Carmelo Hayes. Him.
It's a good one right there. Cam, your wrestler of the week.
It was a tough decision, I'm not gonna lie. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna go with two female wrestlers. First is Jade Cargill. You know what I mean? Great showing in the Royal Rumble. And second is Bayley, because she put on a hell of a show. Well deserved. Even the storyline telling going into the Royal Rumble was just top notch. So she's definitely my pick of the week.
Okay, Mashout King. Who's your wrestler of the week and why?
Okay, my wrestler of the week this week, believe it or not, is Dominic Mysterio.
Oh, wow, very good. Very impressive in the Royal Rumble. Mm-hmm.
Very impressive. I found him extremely entertaining, and I think that he's my wrestler of the week.
Okay. My wrestler of the week is also a female. I was highly, highly impressed with her in the women's Royal Rumble, 2024 Royal Rumble, the seventh one, not the fifth. So let me correct myself from earlier when I said the fifth. The
exactly.
Royal Rumble
yes.
is going to be Jordan Grace. I was very impressed with the TNA Knockout Champion, how she moved, how long she lasted. I can see her in a rivalry with almost every woman in that ring, including Liv Morgan and Ivy Now and Candice LeRae. I love Ivy now, though, but I can see her being in matches with all these people and tell wonderful stories. And isn't that Jonathan Grisham's wife? Aren't they the muscle couple? So shouts out to his wife and her, people getting to see her in the ring. So shouts out to Jordan Grace. That's my wrestler of the week. That being said, we're going to move on to our final thoughts. Mashout King, what's your final thoughts, sir?
Yes. Hell of a show tonight. I felt like I went into my 2020 bag, and I'm talking about the TV show, not the year. And I definitely came out swinging out the gate. But I do want to say, and please continue to like, share, and subscribe. Shout out to everybody that's checking us out on YouTube. Our numbers are going up on a weekly basis. Our videos are doing well, and we want you to keep, subscribing each and every week, because we got more, better, and greater things happening for 2024, and we're excited about that. I'm excited to do this show with these guys every single week. Though sometimes it may not look like it in my eyes, but I definitely, but in my heart, you damn right, Brandon thought. In my heart, I love to do what we do when we do. That's it.
All right. Masquerade Cam, since you did the illustration, shouting him out. He's the man upstairs to you, but on my camera.
I mean, but he's above me, yeah. He is.
That he is.
There you go.
So what is your final word of the week?
All right, so my final thought of the week is, even when you expect the unexpected, it can still throw you for a loop. So just go with it. Life never stops, and we have to keep on pushing forward anyway.
Wow, that was good. That was very inspirational, Masquerade Cam.
I know that is right, fucking Cam. Cam thoughts.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Hold on. We gotta get him a shirt. Diezel Washington. How about you? What's your final thoughts?
Oh, my final thoughts is
take the whole package. Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all hot mess, bro.
I love when Sour Diesel says a lot without saying it. It cracks me.
So
play.
Grind, hustle, and execute. You heard? So that's grind for what you love, hustle for what you want, and execute on what you need. You heard? And stay away from that teleport.
TP is not with you.
Listen, all right. R.I.P.
last week.
I ain't never doing that again.
That was crazy because you said the same inspirational thought last week, and then you promoted teleport after. Now
I said that last week.
I do believe that was your final thought.
It was.
Mm-hmm. But that's all right. It's always good the second time, my brother. Leftover spaghetti tastes wonderful on the second night.
Yeah.
Yes, with the seasoning said, and with that being said, I'm gonna go into an actual random thought, right? Have you ever noticed that when people say you've changed, it's because they stop living life the way that you want them to, right? Keep in mind, don't let people pull you into their storm, pull them into your peace. And with that being said, thank y'all so much for tuning into another episode of the Three Amigos Podcast.
Wait. Go ahead, D. What you gonna say?
I ain't pulling nobody into my piece because you ain't disturbing my shit. Stay your ass where the fuck you at, okay? You ain't staying in your fucking storm. You ain't coming in my piece. So peace out.
That's because you don't really have real peace, but that's not this kind of show. So I can't really
whoa.
I
have
don't know if you want a big piece or a little piece, but that's a deeper conversation.
When
you did your leftovers, I gave you love. Don't be my random thought. Leave it alone. I know you get personal about what people say, but you gotta learn to your peace and not go into people's storms.
Listen,
ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to the Three Amigos Podcast show. This has been a wonderful show. Make sure you
bring
follow,
your umbrella,
you like, and you subscribe, and you tune into us. Peace.
Stay in that storm. Bring your umbrella, bitch.
He's an artist and he's sensitive about his shit.
I think Cam should
other
redo
people
it.
should be too.
I think Cam should redo his thoughts again so we could be, all happy, before we.
What was his thoughts?
Good night, everybody.